how do we feel? I think we'll, just to give this a little bit of structure, Chris, we'll talk about the quality second.
Yep.
Let's talk about the numbers and the coverage first and foremost.
Okay, so Liverpool have 3 goalkeepers, 8 defenders, 6 midfielders, 6 attackers, basically.
Okay.
I would feel much more comfortable with 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, and I'm okay with 6 and 6 for the midfield and the forward department at the moment, to be honest with you. That is born out of seeing Liverpool go through defensive crisis.
Yes.
You know, time and time again. And it is born out of the fact that Konate is injury prone. It's born out of the fact that Virgil van Dijk is 33 now, is he? Did he turn 33 a couple of months ago? In an ideal world, for me, how you should construct a squad is 2 for every position. I think that's the most basic sort of analysis, isn't it? You know what I mean? And
do we have that?
We do and we don't, because I don't think that Joe Gomez is a left-sided centre-half, and I think you have to kind of put him as a left-sided centre-half to make that work, and that's the only position, I will say. Where my 9 defenders comes in, 2 for every position, so and Joe Gomez, who can cover all of the positions. That's my 9 defenders boxed completely. So that's where I sit on it, and I can make peace with 6 midfielders and 6 attackers.
Chloe, how was your feeling, without before looking at it, how was your feeling about the general depth of squad, and has that changed in seeing what the depth of the squad actually is?
I remember at one stage in the summer, I thought, my God, we've got far too many midfielders. And now, you don't want to speak about quality-wise, so I won't really say it, but I'd have liked an extra body in there, mainly quality reasons more than, you know, the numbers in there. But as for defence, I thought the exact same as you. I wanted Calafiori before he went to Arsenal. I just felt like we needed another body in there. Like you said, Joe Gomez can cover everything. And he actually played the most games that he has for Liverpool last season. And I thought he was really good when called upon. But it was just a case of, I don't know where he fits best, and you know, he's being great at left back and right back when asked to be called upon there, but centre half, you know, that's the games where he can put his head down if a mistake goes wrong, and I didn't know whether he was valued as a centre half. And up front with Chiesa, I was absolutely made up with that signing, because I thought we needed a backup for someone, because Mo last season, we rushed him back too many times because we didn't have another right winger who could go in for him, and we pushed him too far, and then he was out for a little bit, and we really, really missed him, and then he came back and he wasn't at the level. So I was really happy with the Chiesa buy as well. So from numbers point of view, I'd have been quite happy if we'd have been able to get another centre back in there. From quality point of view, another midfielder would have been great for me. Yeah,
it's I can't argue with any of that really. I mean, when I looked at it, I think we've got 2 for every position, Dan, and I think that actually made me feel loads calmer once I saw that was the case, because I'm the same. And again, I think there is a little quality issue that definitely needs to be addressed, and every squad has that. I think every squad has an area where you go, we could probably improve on ... But I do feel like we've got a bit of that security blanket there. But it's where I've struggled to square it off is, until recently, it's the players we've let go. I couldn't quite fathom why we were letting obvious depth go. Like, as an example of this, like the defensive thing, Seth Vandenberg, it's a good deal, but for that amount of money, are you going to get someone else in who's as good as him? Could we not have kept Vandenberg around, and then all of a sudden Chris's things have been answered where you've got another centre-half in there, and then Gomez kicks it down the line? That's maybe my slight on this, as much as maybe we could have gone and got someone, because I don't know how easy it is to go and buy that 9th or 8th defender, depending on how we're ranking it.
Yeah, it's a hell of a hard sell, isn't it? It's a hard sell to players when they're in the building already, seemingly, because that's clearly what Liverpool tried to do with Sepp Vandenberg, but he wasn't having any of it, really. He was not to be stopped in terms of getting his move. Liverpool felt like they couldn't stand in his way when their valuation was met, and on he went. But yeah, I think I would have liked to have kept him around, or go and buy one in an alternative universe, because I think Chris is right in terms of that extra body would have been nice in that defensive department. The midfield one, I'm completely on board with Chloe. I think numbers wise it's fine, but when you dig a little bit deeper, not for me personally, certainly in one particular area of that midfield. I think in terms of the attacking department, all bases are covered now. That Chiesa signing's made that possible. There was issues around the Salah stuff, as you mentioned as well, because the drop-off for a while there was, it was Kate Gordon, it was Ben Doak, they went out on loan, both of them, so you think, wow, okay, now it's Harvey Elliott a little bit, maybe even Thompson Bosley a little bit, I'm not sure. Chiesa walks in, no issues whatsoever, happy days, that's completely boxed.
Let's stick with the attack bit for a minute, because that's the thing that's most mad about the transfer window for me, is that we've actually gone and done this, and gone and got that extra attacker, and we think about, we had the three, the front three for so long, and they were backed up by 18-19, first half of the season Sturridge, second half of the season Origi, and Brewster comes back on the bench, and there's your five, and Brewster doesn't play a minute of football for us at the back end of that season. You've got Oxlade-Chamberlain floating around to drop in and do bits and pieces here and there. Gini Van Alden plays in the false nine in the new camp, because Bobby Firmino's injured. That's where we're kind of at. When we added Jota, we had four all of a sudden, and that was like, four interchangeable quality lot. We've got six now.
It's frightening. The quality is ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
By the way, Chiesa, look, I know it's a bunch of kids that he's probably playing against in that training, but the way he turns, was like some of those clips are a joke, and I know he's against youngsters, I totally get it, but I just thought he was that silky either way.
He's a sensational footballer. There's no getting around it. Like, whenever we have conversations, we can dive deeper into the injury problems he's had. His career at Juventus started off on a real high, and then it's tailed off somewhat, but absolutely phenomenal footballer, And then what I will say as well, in terms of the quality he brings to the party, boss, because you mentioned it there, you could, at the drop of a hat, make changes and completely transform what you're trying to do with that attack, and no real drop-off in the quality. However, it's actually the experience he brings as well, because he's a seasoned international who's won stuff, you know what I mean? Like, we're adding another winner, somebody who's been there, seen it, done it, won it. So I think this attacking line, or this attacking department now, is the strongest I think I've ever known it.
The mad thing is, for me, is like they're playing this, Liverpool have played this mad game of chicken almost, because I've done this, right, in a different, like, in my walk of life, where you got pets. Do you get pet insurance, right? Right? And you're like, fucking hell, I'll £20 a month. Cat's one, right? I'll give it a bit of time, like, you know what I mean? See where we go.
Wait till it starts hobbling.
I'm 9 years in. I'm like, should I do it now? Last year before, last cat went through all kinds of stuff, cost us near £2,000. I was like, damn it, should have done the insurance a couple of years ago, you know what I mean? That's what Liverpool have done with Mo. They've seen this lad who just plays every week and thought, we really like Enrico Chiesa, but he's going to want 250 grand a week here, His dad. Every time.
I love Enrico Chiesa. He's getting on a bit, but gotta go.
Bad insurance policy. Anyway, so they're
money ball side and a half.
And they're going, 250 grand a week for Federico Chiesa. Oh, God. Let's give it a year. 2 years ago, still 250 grand a week. Salah still hasn't missed a game. Now, last season, Salah's missed a game, right? Where's that Chiesa's number? What do you want now? Because you would have been paying him 250 grand a week for the last 3 years, and he wouldn't have got a game.
Play 15 games a season off the bench. No, that's. I'm not certain that we buy Chiesa if Klopp's still manager. And I think because I think he might have been more inclined to get a tune out of someone like Ben Doak, because there's a confidence, maybe a slight more confidence in there. And this is pure speculation. I don't know this to be true, but I do feel as though they're trying. And I know this might fall flat to some people, to the arguments in other areas of the pitch, but if you can't get exactly what you want in other areas, do double down in areas where you can make an improvement. I don't think we needed desperately Chiesa, but actually if you wanted to offer a bit of a safety blanket and a bit of security to the new manager, being able to rest your best player without it being an unproven kid, that's a huge thing. I think we were desperate for Chiesa. I think we were desperate for a right winger. I really did, because Harvey Elliott came on in the Brentford game, and we were 2-0 up, and the cop just goes again. Like, I've seen this and I didn't like it last year. I haven't liked it for the past 3 years. And with Mo, I think towards the end of last season, we didn't quite know. I mean, clearly he's came back and he's back to his best, but he's not going to be able to play week in, week out, no matter how much he wants to. He'll have to be subbed off here or there. Week out.
2 weeks.
And 90 minutes at that as well, as you say,
and it just felt like too big of a drop-off. And now you've saw the way Diaz has started the season. You don't want to move him to the right wing and say, actually, you are doing unbelievable over there, but because we've got to facilitate this area that we've not got cover for, we'll have to move you on the right. And it's it's unstable in the front three. Where now I just feel like everyone's got the place that they can go. Gakpo can try and rival Diaz for that left spot. Núñez, we all know, Jota is the number one, and he's number one for a reason, because he just knits everything together. But you've got Núñez there ready to go and offer something different up front. And it was just that Mo Salah area where you thought to yourself, sometimes we play Mo Salah up through the middle, sometimes. And then once again, we're pulling someone else out of position to put them in that and plug a hole. Where now, if anyone saw Chiesa on the starting 11, everyone would be made up. They're so excited. And they're like, Salah's got to rest as well.
There was a point in the summer, though, where we were watching the Euros and going, well, Cody Gakpo's obviously left wing. Obviously.
Yeah.
And then there was a huge disrespect at Diaz around that time, where he was the guy who would float around like he was the fourth choice. And we'll put Diaz wherever. Salah wants a bit of time off. We'll put Diaz over on that side. Whereas Diaz has come back in and gone, actually, no, I'm boss. Here's what I'm going to do over this. And now we're looking at it where the front three is nailed on and absolutely established. But this is the thing, that was like 2 months ago. We've got no idea in 2 months' time what our best front three is.
It's healthy competition. Healthy competition.
And what I love most of all about it is not the club mentioned today. You could see any one of the six in the starting lineup and go absolutely sound, no problems whatsoever. It's horses for courses a little bit. They're all plug and play in terms of starting. But it's the way and it's the manner that they all have something a little bit different. You've all got different ways in which they're going to play that role, and there's a variety of options there, because it's not going to be like for like every single time. You're going to see Núñez, and Jota's probably the biggest example of this, by the way. They play that number 9 role in such a different way that it will be stark in contrast, and it will offer different threats and different problems, different headaches to defences. So in terms of the attacking department, I think Liverpool did the Chiesa thing a little bit backwards. Personally, I would have liked to have seen other positions addressed as a priority, but the Chiesa thing, you can't turn your nose up at a signing of that calibre, that quality.
It was an opportunistic signing, wasn't it? And that's exactly what I mean. The price, I already think it's dumb that we've managed to get him for that price, but if he's any good as what I hope he is, it could turn out one of the best signings in Premier League history. It really could, because he's still only 26. He's going to be 27 this season. But yeah, for me, it's just like, imagine you've got 25 minutes left, the Reds are up 2-0, but you know, there's still a little bit of an edge to the game, and we just go Gakpo, Núñez, Chiesa, have a go.
You're going to be like,
sorry, I've been running to the ground for 70 minutes with Mo Salah, and now you're just giving me a bit of Chiesa.
There's no need for it.
No,
honestly, it's actually a bang out of order from our behalf.